Hey everyone, welcome to a new segment we're going to start here at Buckeye Shooting Center where we're reviewing some firearms with some honesty. You're force fed a lot of information across different avenues, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram, whatever it may be, and everybody's got their 2 cents of what they want to talk about. But our first video that we're going to do here, Jimmy and I are going to sit here and we're going to go through our top 5 guns that are value driven. That some of them you may have heard of, some of them you may not have. So without further ado, we're going to start at number 5, and we're going to go with the Taurus G3C Toro. So what makes the Toro a little different is that it has an optics plate to it. So you can actually put a red dot on this gun. It is a jack of all trades, master of none. That's why it's the price point that it's at of sub $300. Now, it does come with 3 mags that are high cap mags. So you're sitting there with 3 12-round mags. You have, like I said, with the ability to put the red dot on top of it. It has a manual safety on it for a striker fire pistol, which is a little unique. But being a sub $300 gun, it's got some quirks to it. So the trigger's not great, it's not bad though. But one thing that Taurus did was it has a lot of pre-travel to the trigger itself, but the break is actually pretty nice. One of the other things they do too is you also have a decent reset to this trigger as well. So I'll pass it over to Jimmy real quick and he can give you his 2 cents on it, but that's mine.
So this, every time I picked up the Taurus G3C, it always felt great in my hand. I have smaller hands for a guy. It always felt great. Very easily to conceal, very easy to conceal. 12-round magazine, I think that's becoming standard anymore.
Yeah,
10 to 12 rounds, 9mm to have on your hip at any given time. One of the things I really like about this, and it sells well with our customers, is being an entry-level gun. It's got a safety on it, you know, and a lot of your concealed carriers don't have a safety, and this makes people feel very good about it. It's also very slim. It's very smooth on the sides. You know, it's not going to get caught on your pants whenever you pull it. So this is a very easy sell for us. I really thoroughly enjoy it.
One of the other things I like about this too is Taurus did a good job with swapping out their sights. So they used to be proprietary, but now the G3 series and beyond all carry Glock profile sights. So when you go to look for night sights, you don't have to try to find a proprietary sight anymore. You can go and find Glock night sights, which every reputable gun store should have on their shelves, us included, and you can put those on with no issues. One of the other things you'll see across the board here, and this is standard anymore too, is takedown on these guns is going to be very similar. You're not going to have to worry about like a 1911 takedown like you used to have. But
a tool.
Yeah, no, it's relatively simple. But that's all I've got to say about the G3C. A good gun, jack of all trades, master of none. Feels good, easily concealed, but it does everything well, just nothing great. All right?
Absolutely.
You want to take care of number 4?
So this is one that is fairly new to our stores, the Zaghana PX9. It feels very similar, in my opinion, it feels very similar to a XDM with the grip,
Oh yeah.
The shape.
Yeah.
Once again, it's got a safety, which is very nice for those that are brand new to the gun world. It's also a perfect little home defense gun because it holds 18 rounds. You know, it's got the firing pin indicator on the back. It reminds me a lot of my XDM. Feels very good. Trigger's pretty decent. Decent reset. So. Yeah, I really like it. Takedown is going to take down just like an XDM. What do you think?
So I've never actually heard the comparison to an XD before, but that's spot on. It's an XDM without the beaver tail safety in there. It's really good. One of the things I do like about it too, being that it's a larger frame pistol, is it has target sights on it that are completely adjustable. So if you're on the range like here at Buckeye, you can adjust these left, right, up, down, and some of the RSOs there can even help you if you're shooting off to the left, off to the right, and it's truly not you. Because these sights are messed up.
Right.
That's the #1 thing said in the range. And yeah,
these sights are messed up.
It could be also your trigger finger, but if your sights are truly off, it's easy to adjust, which I like really well. But the only other thing I'll add too is, the mags, well, they're 18-round mags. They're made by Metgar, and
that's right.
Everybody, if you know Metgar at all, Metgar makes about 80% of the mags in the industry, period, for everybody. So the fact that it's nothing proprietary at all, and it's actually a 226 mag that goes in this thing. So it's a SIG 226 mag. You find them all over the place, especially from surplus stuff. You can pick mags up super cheap that'll run in this gun. But yeah, I mean, I like the gun a lot. You'll see, so the brand on it's called Zaghana. but SDS Imports is the importer of it. It's a Turkish-made pistol, but you get a lot for the value here. Again, a sub $300 gun. And the one thing I'll point out too before we get further on with this, we're giving you our 2 cents on it, but one of the beautiful things about all the guns we're talking about today is they're out on a rental rack. So don't take our word for it. Come in here, put your hands on them, put some lead down range and give them a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So, but number 3, so I'm a fanboy, and so the Canik has cost me a lot of money over the years. This one is the Canik TP9. It's their baseline gun. I now own, after the Rivals came in the other day, I now own 5 Caniks, and this is where it all started. And it's a Turkish-made pistol. Takedown on this thing's a breeze. It has Warren sights on there, which are phenomenal. It ergonomically is fantastic. The Metgar mags that come with, again, it's a proprietary footprint for a Canik, but the Caniks are so out in the wild now that the mags are cheap. I think they're 25 to 28 bucks relative, which compare that to a Sig mag, it's 50 bucks. But they're 18 round gun or 18 round capacity. And a little birdie told me when we were at SHOT Show that Canik is actually coming out with a significant series of upgrade parts that we should see in the summertime. So if you like the trigger or the sights on one of their competition guns, you'll actually be able to, off the shelf, be able to upgrade a base model Canik. But your mid 3s for this gun, it used to be, I used to call it the best kept secret in the gun industry, but I think that's changed now. But from out of the box, this has one of the best, if not the best, striker fired triggers factory out there, period. Your reset is nothing. It's phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about this gun, but I will tell you straight up, I am as biased as it gets. I own 5 of them. My wife and I own the same gun because we both like it so much. But I'll pass it over to you. You give me your drool on it.
Yeah, once again, this is a very easy sell. And I've got customers come in, they're looking at high-end pistols all day long. And as a terrible salesman that I am, instead of trying to sell them even a more expensive pistol, I typically always swing them by the Canik. Guys that are buying high-end pistols, they know triggers, they know the feel of guns, they know how to pull it up, they know what they're looking for. But when I put this in their hand and then they pull the trigger and I tell them try the reset, it's an automatic sell. I mean,
from a factory trigger.
From a factory trigger, yeah. A lot of people ask me that. What trigger did I put in this thing? This is a straight out of the box trigger. Once again, it's got the firing pin indicator, which is really nice. I'm all about safety, especially with our newer customers. Our customers are just getting introduced into the business. I also have a loaded round chamber indicator on top. So if this thing is sitting on your counter, by the firing pin indicator in the back and the loaded chamber indicator on top, without even touching it, this thing is loaded and ready to go. So it just adds to the safety features. But yeah, we just can't say enough about this. This should be a staple in everybody's home.
Yeah. This to me is where Glock was in the 90s.
Yes.
Glock 19 was, everybody wanted Glock 19.
Yep.
I think this has that kind of traction it can get because it's such a nice gun for that mid 3s price point. That's a retail price point.
Yes.
I mean, I think MSRP on that gun overall is $399.
Yep.
And they get more expensive than that, but they have a ton of different features with them too. Now, one of the things, let's see if I'm going to be an idiot right now or not, but the takedown on this gun is so slick. It's so slick. Unlike a Glock where you have to go quarter rack, you literally push down the takedown tabs. And you pull the trigger, and you're off.
Pull the trigger.
Yep. But I mean, I cannot say enough good things about this gun. It's phenomenal. But that's it for the Canik. I definitely recommend picking one up if you haven't. More, if anything, come in and shoot ours on the range. You will not leave without smiling. It is a phenomenal gun to shoot.
You tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah. So you got number 2.
Yeah. So this is brand new. Global Ordnance came out with this. It's the AREX Delta M, 9mm. It kind of feels similar to a Glock 19, about the same size, same weight. The grip is not ideal. It's not my favorite grip, but when it comes to shooting this thing and handling it, the trigger is just absolutely amazing. It may not be a Canik trigger, but it's awful close. This is something I would definitely recommend carrying. Once again, safety features, firing pin indicator, loaded chamber indicator. So once again, if this thing's sitting down, I know full well whether it's loaded or not. It's hot. But yes, this is an amazing pistol, especially if you were looking for a new carry. So it's 15 rounds in the mag.
Yeah, and the only reason I rank this one above the Canik is specifically because of its size. It is smaller than a Glock 19, but bigger than like a 43X. But you still get a 15 round mag capacity with this gun, which is phenomenal. It's a little slimmer too, which actually appeals a lot to, a lot of women have issues, or shorter people have an issue with the grip size of a Glock, because it's called the plastic 2x4 for a reason, right? But the ergonomics in this gun are phenomenal, and the way I shot it, right? Yeah. So I shot this gun, and out of the box, I was putting rounds inside of each other at 20 feet, and we'll have some videos to show from some of the time on the range with most of these guns. But this gun just shot so well. And the Canik I'm used to, and I was trying to stay unbiased, and I think that's probably why I ranked it number 3 instead of number 2. But this gun, across the board, Global Ordnance did a good job with these, bringing these in. They come with 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. So this is what you would consider the 19 duty size. They also have an L, or an X, which is their full size gun. And they have a smaller frame pistol, which should hit the market here sometime in, I think, April or May is what we were being told. But jury's still out on that. But they just did a lot of nice things to it. They have the undercut under the trigger guard, which everybody with a Dremel tool tried to do with their Glock. The one caveat to this gun that everybody can't stand, the mag release. You have to have some honking paws to be able to hit that mag release just right. You know, fortunately for me, it fits perfectly, but for Jimmy, I know is having issues struggling with it too. And I can tell you, when we touch the ones that have been manhandled at SHOT Show and at Reno, at our buy group show, and the ones that we played with were much smoother than this as a new gun. And it's because it's a front release. Right. It's not a side release like a typical mag is. It's very similar to a CZ. It's a European style, so it'll wear in over time, and they do eject well, but you have to have a hell of a palm, a hell of a thumb to get on there. Some pressure. But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this gun. They come in all shapes and sizes. You have small, medium, and large, and they make it in black, tan, gray, and green. Yeah, so they hit all of the flavors. But overall, the AREX Delta, and right now we actually have a competition going on. So the next 2 weeks, our Top Shot Challenge features this gun. So you enter the challenge. It's a split pot 50-50, so you get a chance to win half the money that's in the pot. So
you can buy an AREX.
There you go. All right, last but not least, we're both in love with this gun.
We absolutely love this gun.
So this is the FXS9, imported by ATI. When we first touched this gun, we're like, okay, awesome, another import gun coming from Turkey. It's not like everybody else doesn't have one of these guns laying around, but it is insane what this gun feels like. So it feels very, very similar to me to an FN509.
Oh yes.
Sight radius on it is very similar to a 509. But the one thing that I really love about it, because I'm a CZ fanboy, it takes CZ75 mags. And actually, out of the box, it comes with a Metgar CZ75 mag. That's a 17 round mag. You can run all the CZ mags in it, so the comp 25 rounders, you can put those in there and everything. Overall though, you have, the trigger pull on this thing is fantastic too. And this is one of the most fun guns out of the box I've shot in a long time. I think since the Canik, really. We'll show some video on that, but I shot this thing extremely well, and that's why it's ranked number 1. That and the price point. This gun retails for about $250. It is insane the value you get with this gun because it feels phenomenal. And the one thing you always worry about with import guns is their durability and how long they'll last. This specific gun is from our rental rack. This specific gun has about 3,500 rounds through it, ballparked. Probably more, but I wanted to be generous about it. Not a single fail to feed, not a single stovepipe, not a single jam. Out of the box, this gun ran flawlessly, and I cannot say enough good things about it, especially for the price point. It's almost like they said, Canik, hold my beer, right? and they tried to make another gun similar to what Canik did, and they did a really good job. It's a Turkish-made pistol. It feels really good in the hand. It might be a little heavier than a Canik, but it's also a full-size gun, so I don't mind that.
Right.
Takedown's a little bit more difficult than a Canik. I mean, I don't think anything's gonna be as easy as a Canik where you just pop a thing and slide it off. But it takes down similar to a Springfield with a takedown lever here. But I'll stop drooling on it and put my DNA on it and give it to Jimmy so he can give you an idea.
First thing I noticed was these sights. These sights, I mean, they just pop. I mean, when you grab a hold of this thing and you look down the barrel, you're seeing those sights. It's not a problem to see them at all. First time I pulled the trigger on this thing, I shot one of our competitions, and I shot the same competition with my X5 Legion that I'm very comfortable with, and only did about 5 shots bad. I think I got 5 points more than I did with this.
Which is not 5 bullets. That is the difference of one bullet hitting the zone versus nothing.
Exactly. A couple of different bullets, and I shot this almost as well as my X5 Legion. I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, but you could buy 4 of those
Three
for one
of
Legion.
them. 3 of them. But absolutely. I mean, I'm in love with this gun. I think everyone should have one. That's why I tell all my friends. I mean, this is one that it will be in my Jeep for a long time. And I'll have one in almost every room in my house because I can afford to do so and I shoot it well. Can't say enough great things about this. And I encourage you all to put your hands on this, pull the trigger, and tell me I'm wrong.
And it is the second most rented gun at the rental counter going into the range. And I think that's mostly because everybody here is a big fan of it. You know, the number one gun that we rent out here is the SIG 365 XL because it's the number one sold gun in the country because it's the number one carry gun in the country. Everyone wants to try it before they buy it. But going in and plinking and having fun, everybody wants to go rental cabinet, rent a Glock, rent a Springfield, rent a SIG, whatever it may be. But for this to sit there and actually live among the kings and be the top of the mountain as far as what's rented was surprising to us.
Yep.
But I think it's a lot because our staff, hey, try this out, right? Because it's a phenomenal gun.
And then they go home and tell their friends.
Yeah.
Go try that thing out. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, everything about this just feels good. It feels like an extension of your hand. I cannot say enough good things about it. But so there you go. So running it back from our top 5 to 1, we have the Taurus G3C Toro. We have the SDS imports, also called the Zaghana PX9. One of my personal favorites, the Canik TP9. The Delta AREX, or the AREX Delta, excuse me. And then finally, number 1, we have the FXS9 by ATI. Now the beautiful thing about every one of these guns, retail, you're under $500. The most expensive gun on the table is the AREX Delta, coming in mid-4s. But the rest of them, you are mid-3s or under. So a lot of brands you may never have heard of because they don't have the marketing dollars that Springfield, SIG, Glock has, but definitely put in your hands. Again, these are all options to come try out on the rental rack. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. We want to continue to keep doing videos, but I figured the first one we start with is things that we actually stand behind. We own a lot of the guns on this table. We shoot a lot of the guns that are on this table, and we can set and put our seal of approval on these guns. Everyone's got their quirks, but we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think about them. So you can comment, let us know, email us, smoke signals, whatever it may be. We'd like to hear what you have to say. And if you have ideas for videos for us to do in the future, please let us know as well, because we're more than happy to do anything you guys want to see, whether it be on the range, in the store, or whatnot. So without further ado, I'm Zach, this is Jimmy, and we'll see you soon.